Hello everyone. Let's talk about Frida ensam, about this tremendously exceptional album, this outstanding work of art, Frida's solo album from 1975. In this video we will go through the entire album track by track, but we will also first dive into the creation and history. Frida wanted to pursue the possibilities of existing as a solo recording artist, and this album gave her the opportunity to record some songs outside of ABBA. The album was produced by Benny Andersson and is full of cover versions of her interpretations of songs and really her interpretations. This concept was already established in Frida's previous album, in the predecessor, her debut from 1971, which is also full of cover versions and was also produced by Benny Andersson. But on this album there is of course one song, the opening of the album, originally written for Frida, and that is Fernando in Swedish language. The recording sessions for Frida ensam were quite extensive. They started in February 1974, but the album was first released in November the following year, November 1975. And what makes Frida ensam also very special is that we have virtually the entire team around ABBA on this album. Not only the band, the core musicians, but the crew around this album that was also so important for ABBA. The musicians themselves, we have Benny on piano and keyboards, we have Björn on acoustic guitar, we have Rutger Gunnarsson on bass, amongst many other instruments. We have Roger Palm on drums, Ole Brankert on drums for Fernando, electric guitars from Janne Schaffer, Lasse Welander, Anders Klenmark, Malando Gassama on congas. This album even has string arrangements by Sven Olof Waldorf, and it was mixed by Michael Bitretov, amongst others. The photography was done by Ola Lager, the important photographer for ABBA, and the design was created by Rune Söderqvist, also a key figure from the team around ABBA. This artwork is one of the most evocative, most beautiful artworks, in my opinion, that we ever had in the world of ABBA, in their solo projects. Not only the picture itself, Frida herself, but there is so much atmosphere, this loneliness. It goes straight back to the title of the album, Frida Alone. But it also shows her as this sensitive, strong woman, independent, which is reflected in the songs and in Frida's incredible vocal delivery. So let's dive right into this album track by track. And we'll start, of course, with the opening song, Fernando. This is her song. There is such an emotional delivery. I love the ending, where we have this different phrasing of words. I love the entire mix of this version. The second track is a version of Young Girl. It has such an addictive rhythm, such strong vocals, and there is so much force in Frida's delivery, full of conviction. And I would say Ensam is Frida at her finest as a vocalist. The third track is one of those introspective interpretations, Frida introspective, shy. This song is that. This song is Frida. And I need to mention Benny again and his gorgeous production of this entire album. The way Benny captures Frida, her voice, her essence, and the entire sound, everything is crystal clear, refined, sharp, punchy. In more informal words, this album to me sounds really delicious. Track 4. There is such beauty in this interpretation. Frida is interpreting different songs here on this album. She is interpreting different characters. And in that regard, this album is not unlike Agnetha's album from the same year. Both of these albums are fan favorites. Agnetha's album has stories from 11 women in one house, Elva, kvinnor. And it really is like a sister album. The strength of an individual woman, which is virtually the theme throughout this album. Track 5 is, according to Carl Magnus Palm, a favorite track for both Björn and Benny, and presumably Frida as well. This is David Bowie's Life on Mars. And there we even have a connection to Swana Gisla. She is, of course, the producer for now the ABBA Voyage show in London, but she worked with David Bowie on his final project, Black Star, on his final music videos. And as so often, as always with this recording, Frida gives her very own spin and identity to this great song. And the A-side culminates in a very joyful recording, a Greek Schlager, and Frida seems to have a lot of fun with this song. Side B opens with a song which I think is a favorite for so many. What a beautiful song. Such a delivery which is powerful, sensitive. There are these sensitive verses, but this full, powerful chorus. This song feels very fulfilling. And number 8 is a 10cc song, the Wall Street Shuffle, Frida's Swedish version, and it's one of my favorites from this album. I love the up-tempo style. I love Frida's great vocal delivery. Elva is solen is based on an Italian song, and the a cappella opening of Frida, wow, wow, wow. Powerful, epic. This song has to be one of my favorites for sure. And I think you can even hear Benny towards the end, when some seemingly male vocal sings the word Varandra. It sounds very much like Benny. The penultimate track is one of Benny's favorite tracks from his idols, the Beach Boys. This is Wouldn't It Be Nice? And here it all comes together. Benny's love for the Beach Boys, my love for the Beach Boys. But this is definitely not the Beach Boys. This is Frida. And it's a rock arrangement. And Frida's vocals are really cool. She gets it. It has these subtle backing harmony vocals. At the end, when they sing Baba, I'm not sure if we hear Benny once again. It wouldn't surprise me at all, especially on this song. And I must say, I really like this arrangement. And this song, this arrangement, is the perfect preceding track for the closing song, which is Frida's version of Send In the Clowns, the Stephen Sondheim song. When it comes to this song, I'm almost lost for words. Melancholy. Frida, here you go. You couldn't be more sad, more beautiful. Such an incredibly poignant delivery and such a delicate backing track. The strings, the piano, the whole soundscape, the atmosphere on this track is sublime. And Wo är min clown epitomizes the greatness of this wonderful, beautiful album. As I said, the recording sessions for Frida ensam were extensive, very long, of course always in between sessions for ABBA as they were starting to kick off. And And there are 3 outtakes, which were never released, and which are all unfinished. They also recorded only backing tracks for the songs Chapel of Love and That's When the Music Takes Me. And then there is a 3rd outtake, which has some vocals by Frida. It's a version of the New Seekers' 1974 I Get a Little Sentimental Over You. And this recording was never completed. Frida began overdubbing vocals, but didn't feel comfortable, according to Carl Magnus Palm. So this one is left half finished. Frida ensam was by far the biggest solo success for Frida to this date. It topped the charts for 6 weeks and sold 130,000 copies. Congratulations, Frida ensam celebrates 50 years this year. This album celebrates life. It celebrates maturity, strength, independence, and freedom. The songs, the energy, the vocals, Benny's production, Frida's mesmerizing performance. I think Frida ensam is a very mature album and a blessing for the listener. And now I would like to know from you, what do you think of Frida ensam? What's your story with the album? Which are your favorite tracks? What do you think of this project of the album? Please let me know down in the comments below. Thank you very much. Alright, until then, hej då!